All right, go. Both goalies ready. Timekeeper ready. Puck drop. Face off. Control by Traverse City. Back to Burkholder. Burkholder into the neutral zone. Chips it up. Petoskey picks that up. They dump it in deep off of Schlegel's stick. I forgot that one. Carter Schlegel's starting. This should not be an ice. It's not. And Graham Peters got to it. Sets Burley up. Burley not able to control it in the corner. Second effort. Graham Peters dumps it a little further in. And Petoskey brings it out through the neutral zone. They dump it in deep all the way behind the goal. Pick it up. Shot toward the goal. Blocked from the center. Oh, no! Carter Schlegel had somebody right in front of him and he never saw it. Son of a gun, less than 1 minute into the hockey game. The Petoskey Northmen go up by 1. Ugh. Not what I was hoping to see for the start of this hockey game. And as cold as it is, if it's this bad, Josh and I are liable to walk away. All right, we'll get another face-off at center ice. Davison not able to control it. It goes back to White. White sends it around through the middle. Evan Blazak coming in with a head of steam. He makes a move. He gets through. Goalie steers it aside. Blazak with a heck of a check. Kept in at the point. White fan on a shot. White defends his man. Petoskey comes in. They shoot at Schlegel. He steers it aside. Traverse City works to get it out. Harvey chasing after that. Blazak takes a hit. White with a couple of moves gets it out through the neutral zone. He comes in right in the middle. Shot just wide of the net. Traverse City trying to pick that up. Rodenroth sends it in deep. Beatty presses the play. We bring it back in on sides. Rodenroth gets a shot off from bad angle right into the chest of the goalie. He hangs on. We'll get a whistle. 15:04 first period. Trojans down by 1. Shots on goal 4-1 in favor of the Petoskey Northmen. Davison takes this face off. Actually, that's not Davidson. That's puck comes through the neutral zone into the Petoskey and nobody touched it. They'll call icing. Face off in the Trojan end, controlled by the Northmen, sent in deep. Davison battles for that. Petoskey comes up with it. Shot wide of the net. Petoskey on the boards, through the middle, out of the zone. Good work by Blake Davison to get that puck out. Conaway and Kloosterman back now. Rodenroth picks it up. He sends it across in front of the net. It goes to, again, I can't see the numbers. I'm all the way down. But Conaway off the glass, got it out. Petoskey's got to check up. Kloosterman's got it. He reverses, sends it up through the middle. He hits Kasu Lehtinen, who gets tripped up. No call on the Northmen. Northmen behind their goal line. Into the neutral zone. Across the middle. And Travers able to get it out. Lehtinen brings it in. He sends it to the middle. Treadway was racing, but he was well covered. Now it comes to Carter Humphrey, who battles but gets double teamed. Treadway with a shot. Oh, he just missed on the outside of the net. Puck's loose behind the goal line. Treadway was very patient there, took his time, just could not get it past that goal line. And from just the far side of the red line, Traverse City dumps it in. We'll get a whistle and a face-off. So it looks like Burley, Humphreys, I'm so far away. Face-off, controlled by Petoskey, shot toward the net, blocked. Burley chases in after that. He reverses it to White. White sends it up to Harv. Harv tried to hit. And Petoskey's got that puck still in control on our end. Weaver chases after that. Shot! Schlegel with a great save. Schlegel with a second effort. Third shot by Petoskey. Wide of the net. Looked like it was blocked. Set in front. Now we come out. Tipped out of the zone. Petoskey dumps it right back in. Kloosterman and Harv back right now. Graham Peters dumps the puck long all the way on the Petoskey goalie as Weaver races in. The Petoskey goalie gloves it down, hangs on. We'll get a face-off. Evan Blazak, Drew Davidson, and Beatty up front. Face-off won by Davidson. Shot right toward the goalie. He got his glove down. In the back, we have Kloosterman and Conaway. Davison wins the face-off again. Same spot. It goes back to Blazak. Petoskey picks it up. They go off the high glass and out. Beatty got driven down, but that gave Davidson some time to pick up the puck. It's in their zone, and Petoskey wins that battle. They're able to get it out. They steer it toward the middle. Kloosterman races back, shot inside of Schlegel, goes all the way around into the corner, and now Beatty's got it. We got 2-on-2. Beatty racing up. Blazak holds up, shot toward the goalie, steered aside. Petoskey, sends it right to Davidson. Davidson picks it up. He looks patient. He hit Blazak right in the leg. It never made it to the net. Back in the middle. Now Beatty's got it. He goes back to Kloosterman at the point. Kloosterman toward the net. Picked up by Beatty again. Beatty tried to center. Up the boards. Kept in by Kloosterman. Off of a shin pad now. Conaway picks up his man. Great stick work by Conaway. Takes the puck away. He's going to race in. While we do a full sail line change, Conaway made it to the blue line, dumped it in, he goes back. Rodenraw tied up. It comes back to Blake Davidson. Puck comes out. Shot toward the net. Off of the goalie. Burkholder thought about stepping up, but he waited. Schlegel with a great save. Second effort on for Schlegel. Sorry, when the puck goes down, I can't see anything going on. I'm getting tongue-tied. So the Trojans dump it in. The Petoskey goalie gloves it down, hangs on. We'll get a face-off. All right, referee right in front of me. Face-off. ends up behind the Petoskey goal line. Humphreys battling for that, sends it up to the corner. White picks it up. White sends it up. Petoskey picks it up, brings it out. White and Harv back up. Shot from top of the circle. Glove down by Schlegel. He hangs on. We'll get a face-off. Face-off, controlled by Petoskey. Shot toward the net, blocked off Humphrey's leg. Sent to the middle, into the corner. Petoskey keeps it deep in our end. Harvey picks that up, sends it around. Humphreys gets it out of the zone, but takes a hit when he does it. Petoskey dumps it right back in. And now we come out, and this Petoskey checks up. They drive it right back in. I believe that was Treadway. Took it right off the Petoskey stick. Petoskey in the neutral zone, struggling to control that puck. They dump it. Harv picks it up. Harv, long pass. Off of, oh, they're calling ice. I thought that went off of Weaver's stick and would be non-icing, but I was wrong. Not sure if you're aware, but I'm wrong more often than I'm right. All right. I believe that's Graham Peters taking this face off. And Traverse City chips it up. They come out. 2-on-1. Burley, first to the puck. Burley totally hooked. No call. Peters comes up with the puck. Oh, Burley is getting a call. Conaway's got it on the point. Conaway hits Burley. Burley with a one-timer just wide of the net. Petoskey controls the puck. They're going to get a penalty for a hooking. If that hadn't been called, I was going to put the mic away and go home because we're going to lose this game if that wasn't called. Burley was the first man to the puck. He fought hard. He had a stick up in his armpit that the blade of the other player's stick was on his. He could not bring his stick down. He had no chance for a shot, but they actually called it. So Weaver, Peters, and Davison out there with Burley and Soper. Sent around. Soap not able to keep it in. Weaver will pick that up. Hit Davidson in the neutral zone. Davison goes to the far side. Weaver comes in. Weaver goes around. He's looking to set it up. He goes back to Soap on the point. Soap hit Burley. Burley goes back to Soap. Off the board. Soap looking. Soap in the middle trying to hit the bumper. Burley, first man there. Just tipped off his stick and in the neutral zone. Soper picks it up. Soper hits Davison. Davidson hit Weaver. Weaver comes in, centers it. Shot from the middle by Graham Peters. And the Petoskey goalie gloves that one up and hangs on.
During the break, we can have the bus driver please move the bus to the health department parking lot. We're having a problem with traffic flow and emergency vehicles.
All right, face off to the left of the Petoskey goalie. We still have 1:17 left on the period. Puck goes all the way down behind our net. Schlegel settles it down. Kloosterman makes it there. Conaway and Kloosterman on the back. I got Beatty coming in. Beatty makes a move. Beatty gets pushed off behind the goal line. Centers. First one there, one of the Petoskey Northmen. Puck sent all the way down. Actually, that's not White with Kloosterman, or not Conaway with Kloosterman. It's White. Rodenross got it. He goes behind our nets, tries to set it up, sends it back to White. White to Rodenroth. Rodenroth in, centering pass. Trying to set it up by Evan Blazak. Blazak goes behind the goal line in the corner. Beatty comes out with it. Beatty makes a move. He's looking. He's going to dump it back to Rodenroth. Rodenroth centers. Off Beatty's stick. Now it goes to Beatty. Beatty not able to control it, and the Petoskey team brings it out, goes all the way down. That'll do it for the power play. So with 6:24 left in the first period, Trojans' first power play comes up empty. Petoskey through the neutral zone. Soper and Burkholder back. We battle for it in the corner. Petoskey all the way to the point, keeps it in. They shoot from the point, off Schlegel's right leg. Out into the corner. Again, another battle. Sent around. Burkholder's got it. He puts it up. Traverse City comes out through the neutral zone. Off of the stick of Treadway, right onto one of the Northmen's stick. Northmen try to dump it in. Hit our bench. We'll get a whistle. All right, Conaway and Klusterman back. Humphreys, Kasu Lehtinen, and Treadway up front. Conaway in the neutral zone sends it up to Treadway. Treadway dumps it in as he gets popped off the puck. Lehtinen chases his man down. Humphreys missed. Conaway, the only one back, throws it off to the side. Off Schlegel's shoulder, hit the glass. Trojans come through the neutral zone with it. Now, Humphreys has got it. Humphreys, oh, he just missed the shot. Conaway for the point, into the goalie's glove. He hangs on, we get a whistle. Oh, Carter Humphreys had a chance there. He had his spot picked, and I think he might have got his stick lifted at the very last second, and he did not get a quality shot off. Shots on goal now, 8-5 in favor of Petoskey. 5:03 first period. Controlled by Petoskey. They bring it out of the zone. White backs up. Was going to chase that down. It came to the corner of the net. Schlegel gloves it down, hangs on. He gets a whistle. You gotta move to stay warm. Josh is making fun of me because I'm dancing. I think it's warmer outside at 10 degrees than it is in this rink right now. All right, Graham Peters has the puck in our zone. He's looking, he goes up, hit Weaver. Weaver through the middle. Weaver sends it up, pass intercepted, but into the Petoskey zone. Picked up by Graham Peters, sent to Burley. Burley to White, White to Peters, Peters up front, puck through the crease, Burley chases it down, Harv's got it, Harv shoots toward the net, just wide, might have hit somebody. Weaver's got it toward the net. Petoskey, actually I gotta give Petoskey points, they're playing pretty darn good defense. We dump it in, go for a wholesale line change, and as Petoskey brings it up, through the middle. They're going to get a shot on net. Schlegel with a save. Blazak comes back. Knocked off his stick. Through the middle. Now, Burkholder picks it up. Burkholder sends it. Oh, he tried to hit Blazak. And one of the Petoskey Northmen just got a stick in there to break that play up. That was almost a guaranteed goal. Oh, so as the puck bounces past Burkholder, Soap's got to drop down. He makes him shoot high. Schlegel makes the save. We come right back. 3:15 left. Beatty with a move. Beatty goes back. Beatty takes a check. We keep it in. Beatty's got it back. He makes a move into the middle to the point. Burkholder with a shot. Oh, off the lane. We shoot. We score. We score. Drew Davidson with the score. He picked up the rebound. Made no mistake. Put it in. And with 3 minutes to the tee left on the clock, we tie the game at 1. Let's go Trojans. Oh, I need some adrenaline. I'm afraid I'm going to freeze to death. If I had a thermometer with me, I swear I'd bring it in here. It's got to be below freezing by a lot. All right, Petoskey wins face-off. They shoot from the point. Schlegel gloves it down, hangs on with 2:53 left in the first. We're tied at 1. Go Trojans! All right, face-off. Won by Petoskey, sent toward the net. Shot way wide. Davison knocks it up, not out. But now Burkholder gets it. He sends it to the middle. File! Goes to the middle. Oh, he shot across the crease. He was just behind Rodenroth, who was coming in fast. Petoskey through the neutral zone into our end. Tipped off. Shot towards Schlegel. Tipped away. That one will make it out. And Petoskey just got to it before File. Puck comes down through the neutral zone. Rodenroth in. He cuts. He shoots. Oh, he takes a check and a half. He ends up in the net. He was a little upset about that. I'm not going to give Petoskey a ton of crap on that one. There was no way the referee was going to call that. Rodenroth drove the net hard, made a great shot, and the defenseman cleaned up the net. And that's hockey, baby. So, we're going to face off to the left. Petoskey goalie. 2:05 left first period. Tie game, 1-1. Graham Peters not able to control that face-off. Conaway presses it to the outside, stops the dumping pass. Allowed Klusterman to pick that up. Klusterman now right at the line, not able to get it out. Petoskey controls. Conaway will make it there this time. He sends it up, gets his own shot back. He goes to Klusterman. Klusterman dumps it deep. Intercepted by Petoskey right on Conaway's stick. Conaway dumps it deep at the net. We check up. Onsides. Petoskey picks it up. They send it all the way down. This should be an icing. It is. And with 1:22 left in a tied first period, shots on goal are 13-8 in favor of the Norsemen. So we're going to have Harv and White back. Weaver, Peters, and Burley up front. Face off to the left of the Petoskey goalie. Linesman, make sure everybody's outside the circle. Drops puck. Behind the goal line, Petoskey sends it around. Petoskey able to pick that up. They drive it out. Through the middle. And a move. A shot on Schlegel. I heard it go off his goal pad. I didn't see it. Petoskey keeps it in the middle. Shot blocked.
Last minute of play in the period.
And with 1 minute left, Petoskey not able to get it out, or Trojans able to get out off of a Petoskey player, and no icing. They rushed the puck, went off the high net just to my right, and with 47.5, we'll get a face-off in the Petoskey end. To the right of the Petoskey goalie, right in front of me. Drew Davidson take this face-off. Won by Petoskey, back. They send it around off the net. Evan Blazak, first one there. Tipped off his stick. Davison tries to help him out. Blazak tied up. Puck comes out. Beatty, out of nowhere, maybe he was tripped because it looked very goofy. He went down hard, slid across the ice, looked back at the referee. So that was an icing call. The face-off comes all the way back into the Petoskey end, right of the goalie, right in front of me. 26.1 left on the clock. Puck drop. Burkholder missed. Oh, it's kept in just barely by Evan Blazak. Then one of the Petoskey players knocks it out. Shot towards Schlegel. Block. Second effort. Block. Schlegel's got to get up. Third shot. And the Norseman scores. Schlegel was down. He was trying to get back into a spot. That sucks. 9.7 seconds left. First period. And the Northmen go back up by 1. Face-off, center ice, controlled by Petoskey. 5 seconds left. They bring it in. Shot blocked. Puck dumped out. That'll do her. We're back for the start of the second. Face-off was controlled by Traverse City, brought in Petoskey end, shot toward the net, stopped by the goalie, held on to, we'll get a whistle. Graham Peters will take this face off to the right of the Petoskey goalie, my left. Burkholder and Soper back. Petoskey able to get it out right on the Soper stick. Soper hits Burke. Berkey sends it in deep over the goalie's head into the corner, driven around. Burkholder keeps it in. Shot out, or shot in right on the Petoskey stick. And Burkholder picked that pass up. Centering pass through the crease. Nets off. We get a whistle. Face-off will be to the right of Schlegel. Drew Davidson to take this face-off. Back to the point of Petoskey, kept in the line, shot toward the net, knocked down before it got there. Second effort shot! Off of Schlegel and in the net in slow motion. Carter Schlegel had no chance. And with 16-13 in the second period, Petoskey is up by 2. Again, 2 quick period goals for Petoskey. Just beating the crap out of us. Conaway and Klusperman back. Davison to take the face off.
47 seconds in the second period. Petoskey goal, Northmen goal, number 16.
Conaway goes over to Klusperman. Klusperman sends it up. He takes a hit when he does it. Petoskey's offsides. They got to check up. Beatty through the neutral zone. Tipped in. Conaway gets to it. Conaway races around. He hit Davidson. Davidson chipped it up to Beatty. Beatty takes a hit right in front of the Petoskey bench. And Traverse City gets it in deep into the Petoskey end. Petoskey sends it up the board. Klusperman with some good footwork keeps it in. Second effort brings it out. Conaway picks it up. He tried to go backhand off the boards, just wide. Conaway races in. Beatty picks up the puck, sends it through the middle. Blazak hit Davison. Davidson shot toward the net. Glove down by the Petoskey goalie. He hangs on, and we get a whistle. Face off in the Petoskey end. File not able to win that one. Petoskey brings it out through the neutral zone into our end. Rodenroth picks it up. He goes behind the net. He goes up the boards. Chipped off his stick. Nobody there but Soper. Soper's got a block. Shot inside. Missed the net. Now it comes to Soap. Petoskey was offside, so Soap was going to let him play the puck to get it outside of the zone. They backed off. We dump it down. It went right through a Petoskey player, but they still call icing. That might be called the home ice advantage. So Burkholder and Soap back. Kasu Lehtinen, Humphreys, and Treadway up front. Face off. Won by the Norsemen. Sent into the side of the circle. Off of one of our legs. Kept in. Back to the point. From the point. Shot blocked. Stick broken. Burkholder lays his man out. Soper able to dump it into the neutral zone. Petoskey clears up. They dump it in deep. And the linesman called that offside. I did not think it was offside, but what the heck? We'll take it. So with 14-10, second period, Trojans down by 2. Coming off a horrible loss to the Reps. I really thought the boys would be playing possessed tonight. Last year when I was standing in this corner, we may have been in a mercy situation. Not against us. All right, puck comes back to the point. Harv picks it up. He dumps it right back in. Comes out to the neutral zone. Petoskey gloves it down. Shot. Schlegel. Right pad save. Petoskey into the corner. And that was Lehtinen with a great angling check to drive the Petoskey player off the puck. Back to the point. Humphreys just missed it. Now Lehtinen drives it to the side. Harv sends it all the way down. This will be on the goalie. No icing. He's got to put a glove on it as Treadway comes racing in. And we'll get a face-off in the Petoskey end. So with 13:23, second period, Trojans down by 2. Conaway and Kloosterman back. Peters, Burley, and Weaver up. Burley with a heck of a hit. Sent around. Conaway steps in. Kept it in with a foot. He drives it in deep. Conaway chases it down as Graham Peters picked up his spot. Puck in the corner. Traverse City battling pretty hard here. Oh, through Kloosterman's legs and out. Graham Peters races back. He sends it around to Conaway. Conaway gets a stick on it. Conaway sends it up. And Burley's got it to Kloosterman. Kloosterman gives it up in the neutral zone. They dump it right back in. Burley races. Burley takes a hit, but allows Kloosterman to pick it up. Kloosterman, long far side pass. That's not... The linesman here is not real smart. We tipped it in from just outside our blue line, and he said it was off his stick and let it go. So we'll take it again. Not normally what happens to us. Kloosterman in the neutral zone dumps it back in. Conaway backs up. He chases the puck down behind our net. Sees a man coming in. Reverses. He backhands it to Blazak. Blazak to Conaway. Conaway to Kloosterman. Kloosterman through the circle. Up to Beatty. Beatty out. Beatty to Davidson. Through the neutral zone. In deep. And Petoskey sends it across. Burkholder drives it in deep. Blazak took a hit but kept the puck in. Centering pass! Oh, that was Drew Davidson with a one-timer that I think it got deflected. Burkholder at the neutral zone dumps it right back in. Petoskey not able to control it. Beatty comes in. Beatty cuts to the middle. Shot. We score! We score! What a great play by Beatty! Beatty set it across. I think that was Davidson. Is Davis? Drew Davidson. Beatty sent a great pass across to Davidson. Davidson rifled it. Goalie had no chance, and we're down by 1. Oh, so Davidson had the goal, but I'm going to give Beatty some huge props for picking up that puck, getting to a defenseman, racing in. He wasn't selfish. He sent the perfect pass across, made it easy for Davidson to slap her home. We come right back in, Files, button hook, sends it toward the middle. Shot toward the net. Oh, and the Petoskey goalie just got a glove on it. All right, 11:08, second period, down by 1 again. Shots on goal, 17-11 in favor of Petoskey. All right, puck drop, face off. Not controlled by anybody, but there's a shot. Off the goalie's pad, back to the point. Soper backs up, checks his man off the puck, allows File to get in there. File sends it in. Petoskey in the neutral zone, picks it up. Burkholder with a great stick, checks his man off the puck, uses that big body, sends 2 guys flying, allows Soap to come out with the puck, get it through the neutral zone. And now we're in the middle. Young Davidson gets a great shot on net. Goalie steers it aside through the neutral zone. Soper and White back up. Shot. Ooh, that was deflected off one of the defensemen. It changed direction at the last second, and Schlegel had to be sharp. People would think that would be an easy save. It was not easy. Shot off Schlegel's glove. Second, over the net. Behind the net, Petoskey kicked off the puck. Soper high off the glass. Not out. White tried to, actually that was Blake Davidson, tried to get it out. And Fire with a good hit. Separates his man from the puck. He goes back and chases it down toward the net. Now Blake Davidson's got it. He just clears it. He'll take the icing. All right, so let me tell you who's out there now. I got Harv and Whitey back. I got Peters, Weaver, and Burley. Grant Peters wins that faceoff. He goes back to Harv. Harv sends it around. White's going to pick it up. White looks, goes back to Burley. He gets it out. It goes all the way down. How do they call that an icing when the Petoskey player lifted his stick up so it wouldn't hit it? Oh, the home ice advantage is pretty blatant here. So the referee skates all the way back. He'll drop it again. Grant Peters able to control that puck. Weaver sends it up to Burley. Burley races in. Burley chips it toward the net. Knocked off his stick. Burley behind the net. Peters comes up with it. Peters looks. He's looking for a center. He shoots. Comes to the middle. Peter picks up his own rebound. He shoots again. Through a bunch of bodies. Blocked. Comes out. White gloves it down. He dumps it back in off the glass. We check up. We're in on sides. We line change. And Petoskey able to get it out. Schlegel steers it to the side. Kloosterman picks up that puck. White still out there on a long line change. He skates hardcore toward the net. Conaway jumps out as White goes off. Kloosterman left. Conaway White. Beatty's got it. Toward the middle. Kloosterman stepped way in. We pick it up. Blazak's got it. Blazak dumps it in deep behind the net. Battle for the puck. Petoskey comes up with it. Conaway backs up with Davison and Blazak. And the referee called it offsides. The face-off will be in the neutral zone. Blazak, Davison, and Beatty. Face-off ends up in our end. Burkholder picks it up. He sends it all the way across to Soap. Soap chips it up. Tipped in off of Beatty's stick. Petoskey drives it out. We dump it right back in. Petoskey up the boards. Burkholder did everything he could to keep that in. Just rolled off his stick. He goes far side. Davison hit Beatty. Beatty's alone. Beatty shoots. Oh, it just went high and wide. Oh, Beatty got so excited. I think he overshot that one. Puck in the neutral zone. Battle for. Dumped in by Travers. Drew Davidson will pick this up. He sends it back. Rodenroth. It goes over Soper's head all the way down. We get an icing. We good? All right, face off to the right of the Petoskey goalie. As I look at him, one by Travers City, Rodenroth with a shot, blocked by one of the Petoskey defensemen. Kept in by White, sent deep. I think that was File, took a shot toward the net, picked up his own rebound. It goes around, White's banging for that puck. In the middle, to the side. We control it, dump it to White, in deep. Picked up by File. White. File. We're moving the puck around well. Rodenroth. And now it just makes it out past Harv. Petoskey brings it in. White plays his man well. Sends it behind the net. Petoskey tries for a wraparound. No go. Net's off. We get a whistle. Face off will be right in front of me, in front of the Petoskey bench, down deep. Kloosterman and Conaway will be back. Peters, Weaver, and Burley up front. Conaway goes over to Schlegel, tells him, "Good job, buddy. Hang on tight. We got you. Let's see some work here, boys. Come on. Let's get one back." Face off. One by Peters. Petoskey picked it up. Went right to Burley. Burley out of the zone. Through the neutral zone. Burley, far side. Shot! Steered away by the Petoskey goalie. Kept in the line by Conaway. Conaway sends it toward the middle. It comes back. Conaway's got to race back. They're 3-on-2. Kloosterman's got it. He sends it around. Conaway races up. Nobody at the Petoskey line. It comes out offside. Conaway sends it out as he blasts the Petoskey player. And as the linesman tells the Petoskey player to let up, it comes back out. Conaway picks it up. Conaway with a shot through the middle. Burley not able to pick that up. Sent into the neutral zone. Now all the way into the Petoskey end. Graham Peters will pressure. Kloosterman with a forecheck. Stop that. Conaway's got to back up. Conaway and Kloosterman with a stick. A dive by number 21 of Petoskey does not draw a penalty. I'm surprised it didn't get him a diving penalty. I think it's one of the Petoskey moms taking pictures and shaking her head. That was... Oh, one of our press girls. I'll have to talk to her between periods. All right, we got Kasu Lechtonen takes that face off. Petoskey picks it up, back to the point. They dump it toward the net. It goes to the far side. Burkholder sends it up, empty point. Kept him right at the line, but Sue Lecton picks it up. He hit Carter Humphrey. Carter Humphreys beats him in. Humphrey shoots. Oh, it goes right into the shoulder of the Petoskey goalie. He hangs on. Humphreys with a burst of speed. 2 moves. I think he was trying to get the goalie to go right to left, and the goalie just read it, and Humphreys put that just on the outside of his shoulder. We need another one before the end of this period. All right, face off. Down on the Petoskey end. Petoskey controls. Chipped off a stick by Treadway. Up the boards. Kept in by Soap. Soap shoots. Low. Oh, I heard it hit a pad. I never saw it. Goalie got a glove on it. Held on tight. We get a whistle. Face off to my right of the Petoskey goalie. Graham Peters will take this face off. Petoskey gathers the puck. Shot from outside the line goes way wide. Burkholder plays his man well. Burley takes 2 guys out. And now Weaver sends a puck to Burley. Burley chips it off a Petoskey leg. Far side, Burkholder tips it into Weaver. Weaver all the way behind the net. Goalie tries to pick it up. He lets it loose. Now Peters has got it. He's looking to set it up. He goes toward the middle. Shot. Inside, bounced around. I thought we were going to have a second effort. Not able to get it up. Burkholder with a shot blocked. Goes into the cheap seats up high, and with 4:08 left in the second period, we're going to face off to the right of the Petoskey goalie as I look at him. So I've got John and Annette watching in Ludington. I know my mom and dad, Dick and Kathy, are watching in Surprise, Arizona. My daughter Vicky and my granddaughter's watching in Dudley, England. Gamma Soper's watching in rehab. Thank you so much for tuning in while you get better. Puck. 1 goes out to White. White shoots from the point. Goalie steers it aside. Puck ends up back to White. White sends it off the boards to Beatty. Beatty with a shot! Just missed. White banging for the puck, and Blazak sends it back. No, that was Harb. Picks it up, sends it in deep, goes around. White cheats in, keeps it in, comes to the middle. Petoskey reads that one. They send it all the way down. Harb races down to get that, negates the icing. And White sends it to Beatty, who has to get his head up to keep from getting whacked. Now Beatty comes up with the puck, loses it. Petoskey fights. Beatty gets it again. Beatty's going to hit Blazak. Nope. Oh, Beatty went to the near side here weakly and gave it up to Petoskey. Harv gets stumped. And the puck goes out. The referee will put the net back on where the play goes to the other end. Harv took a thump and a half to clear that puck. Conaway and Kloosterman back out on D. File. Davison and Blazak out there. We get a whistle with 2:20 left in the second period. Trojans down by 1. Come on, channel your energy. Let's get the Trojans going. All right. File will take this face off. Petoskey with a super late line change here. File wins it. It goes back to Klusterman. Klusterman reverses it to Petoskey. Oh. Off Conaway's foot on the shot, and Conaway takes the hit. Not able to get it out, though. It comes back to Rodenroth. Rodenroth behind the net. He races up, goes up the boards, tipped out. Petoskey picks it up. Conaway will race in after this. He looks. He goes hard off behind the net. Klusterman comes up the boards, far side. He hit Blake Davidson. Blake Davidson all the way in. Tried to check up Blake Davidson with a shot. Second effort by File, and the goalie gloves it. We get a whistle. And with 1:34 left in the second period, Trojans down by 1. We need a goal. And again, no interviews between periods. I, honest to goodness, am going out and sticking my hand on the heater. This is the coldest rink I've been in this season. Like, worse than Houghton. All right, we control the puck in front of the net. We push it toward the net. Shot steered aside. Burkholder backs up. Burkholder picks up that puck in the circle, spins around. He hit Weaver. Weaver gets it out to Peters. Peters sends it to Soap. Soap quick to Burley. Burley gets it toward the line. Burkholder dumps it. Goalie puts a glove on it, hangs on. And with 1 minute and 1 second in the second period, we're going to face off to the left side of the Petoskey goalie, down by 1. Shots on goal, 21-17 in favor of Petoskey. All right, puck drop. Petoskey drives it around, but it's picked up by Trojans. Graham Peters lets it go to Soap. Soap shoots, ends up in Peters' feet. Burley picks it up. He shoots. Didn't make it to the net. Graham Peters, good work there. Keeps the puck in the corner. We get a body or two line change. Sent around. Burkholder just not able to keep it in. We'll get an icing. With 29.2 seconds left in the second period, the face-off will go all the way back to the right of the Petoskey goalie. Man, oh man, we could use one right now. Face-off, back to the point. Soap with a shot. Hit multiple things. 20. Excellent. They're not running the clock. I love it. There it goes. We were in pressure, so I didn't mind the clock not running, but holy mackerel! Schlegel played the puck right off of one of the Petoskey players' stick. It stayed out of the net. Now Blazak comes up with it. 10 seconds left in this period. All the way down. Blazak shoots! He missed the net. Burkholder, shoot! Wide! Soper, wide! Son of a gun, the buzzer goes off. And we will go to the locker room down by 1. It's on goal, 21-17. Graham Peters take this face off. Driven all the way into the Petoskey end behind the goal. Petoskey tries to send it around. Picked up by Burley. Burley looks through the middle. Burley stutters, sends it in deep, goes all the way around to Peters. Peters sends it back to the point. Shot toward the net, blocked by a Petoskey player. Sent up and tipped aside before it ever got to Schlegel. Right at the circle. Petoskey keeps it in. They get a shot. High, Schlegel sends it out. And now it comes through the neutral zone. And Petoskey dumps it all the way back down to our goalie. Schlegel plays it to Harv. Harv reverses. Soap picks that up. He battles in the corner. Evan Blazak waits patiently. And now it comes out. Blazak dumps it in. Beatty, first one to the puck. Beatty goes behind the net. Leaves the puck there for Davison. Davison back to the point. Harvey, shot! Oh, went off two bodies wide. As it bounced off the boards, the Petoskey goalie dove out at that, put a glove on it, hung on. We get a whistle. 15:34, third period. Trojans down by 1. White and Harv back, Davison, Beatty, and Blazak up front. Davison not able to control that face-off. The Petoskey players drive it all the way around. White tried to keep it in. Refs said he touched it, no icing, all the way down in our end. Harv and Davison battle for that puck. We bring it out now. Here's Blazak with a head of steam. He sends it toward the middle, picked off by one of the Petoskey players. Shot from the line, glove down easily by Schlegel. And with 14:53 in the third period, we'll get a whistle. Shots on goal, not getting updated because that was a shot on goal and it didn't change. So I'll quit yapping about shots on goal. Face off. Won by the Trojans. Sent around. Conaway picks it up. Conaway hit. Who is that? File with a great pass. File steps in. He tried to go far side around the goalie. Off his right pad. Conaway backs up. Keeps the puck to the far side. Klusterman sends it up to Rodenroth. Rodenroth comes through the middle. Puck goes back. Conaway sends it back to the middle of the neutral zone. Chipped in. Right. Not. Oh, now it's out. Klusterman picks it up. He looks for Conaway. He hit Blake Davidson. Davidson tried to get it in. Conaway with it. We got to check up. We stepped in just off sides. Klusterman through the middle. He's going to race it in. He's going to step into the circle. Sends it back. Shot. Rodenroth did not get what he wanted on that. Files got to back up with Conaway. Conaway steers the man to the outside. And the centering pass knocked away. Shot from the top far side of the left circle. Steered aside. Out into the neutral zone. Petoskey dumps it back in. They check up. Conaway sends it around to Klusterman. Klusterman loses it in the corner. Now it comes out to Rodenroth, who comes through the middle. Rodenroth chips it in. He's going to be the first one to the puck. Nope, goalie beat him there. And as the Trojans go for a wholesale line change, we dump it back in. Lose it. Neutral zone, RN, Petoskey. Behind the net, Burkholder's going to pick that up. Berkey sends it hard up off the stick of a Petoskey player. No ice. All the way behind. And Petoskey able to get it all the way out. Trojans check up. Come right back in with pressure. Off of Berkey's skate, onto his stick. Treadway off the boards, loses it. And Humphrey's not able to reach it. Now, it's that Blazak hits Treadway. Treadway tips it in. Treadway beats a man. Up the boards and out, all the way down. Burkholder's going to get a roughing call here. Oh, that's a crappy penalty. Not on Berkey. I would have never called that. He hit the man as he was driving the puck out of the zone. He's going to get called for roughing. No, he called him for interference. And I'd have let that one go. The puck had just gone past him. Berkey doesn't know it went past him. Berkey's playing the man. So we'll get Peters, Soper, Davison, and White out there to kill this power play for the Petoskey Northmen. All right, face off to the left of Schlegel. Won by Petoskey, back to the middle. Off a skate, dumped in.
Number 23, 2 minutes interference. 2 minutes interference.
Sent around all the way to the point.
Power play.
Petoskey trying to set it up, hard off the glass, dropped down by the defenseman, shot from a bad angle on the point, chipped up, kept in by Petoskey, dumped in backhand. Soap, hard off the boards. This one will go all the way down. Goalie plays it, settles it down behind the goal line. 11:27, 1:20 left in the power play for Petoskey. Through the neutral zone, White pressures, centering pass, and a tip in by the Norseman scores a goal. Well, to be honest with you, not what I expected out of the Trojans today. I really believed that they would be ahead at this point in the game. So with 1:14 left on the power play, they score. We'll go back to 5-on-5.
At 5:44 in the third period, Petoskey goal, Northman goal, number 16, Northman backhand goal. From number 5, Anderson Ward. Low from Ward, 5:44.
So the puck dumped down to the Petoskey end. The goalie played it with a stick. We were going to be the first one in, so he puts a glove on it. We'll get a face-off in the Petoskey end. Hugh Davidson. Face-off. Blazak's got it. Blazak tried to send it back. Now Blazak's got it again as the Northmen misplayed the puck. Beatty's going to pick it up. He goes far side around. Petoskey player loses his stick and just rifles Beatty into the boards. That allows us to come up with the puck. Beatty again, far side, takes a couple slashes. Oh, that's head contact. Beatty centering. Shot. Blocked by number 11 for Petoskey. Now it comes out. Conaway races back. First one to the puck, picks it up. Behind the net, hits Klusterman. Klusterman off his stick. He gets shellacked. Now Conaway's got it. He's going to come up the boards. He tried to hit Beatty, but Beatty was looking at the bench and did not play the puck. Actually, are we getting a penalty call here? They call a penalty? No, they're just trying to. Oh, they did. They called a penalty on the Norsemen. I have no. Only because of the referee demeanor did I catch that they were going to call it. But we will go on the power play. We need a goal here bad.
7 minutes in the third period. Petoskey penalty. Northman penalty number 21. 2 minutes roughing. 2 minutes roughing. 7 minutes.
Petoskey got a roughing penalty there. Trojans come through the neutral zone. Drew Davidson makes the zone, loses an edge, goes down. Soper's got to back up. Petoskey dumps it in deep around. They're just eating time. Comes into the neutral zone. Petoskey dumps it back in. Burley hits Soap. Soap's pass intercepted. Soap gets it back. Soap goes other side. Tipped into the middle. Now, Weaver hits Graham Peters. Graham Peters dumps it in. Northman high off the glass all the way down to Schlegel. Soper picks it up. 1 minute left in our power play. Soper chips it up. Beatty comes around the outside. Beatty shoots. It's through the legs. It's loose. It's loose. And the ref loses sight of it. He blows the whistle. That puck trickled through the goalie's legs, was drifting in the crease, and did not make it to the goal line. And before we could pick it up, the ref blew the whistle, and we get a face-off in the Petoskey end. Blazak, Rodenroth, and Beatty out there with the White and Kloosterman. Sent all the way around. Oh, a horrible bounce off the dasher board and a stanchion. Goes all the way down. Kloosterman picks it up. 35 seconds left in the power play. Sent up. Now, Rodenroth races in. He comes around behind the net. He's looking. Goes back to the point. White. Back to Rodenroth. Rodenroth looks toward the net. Missed. And the Trojans knocked off the puck and out into the neutral zone. Kloosterman tried to make a move, but he got intercepted. Now Blazak's got it. He chips it in. Blazak will beat his man to the puck. Kloosterman able to keep it in. He gets smacked on the boards. Beatty had backed him up. It comes around to Blazak. Blazak not able to center it. Chipped out through the middle, and White's got to race down and get that. Even strength. So Petoskey does a good job of canceling out the power play again. I think the puck hit the net, so we get a whistle. And with 7:38 left in the third period, the Trojans got to jump it up. They gotta play like this means something, because it does mean something. This is a conference game. Graham Peters takes face off. Controlled by Petoskey. Back to the point. Burkholder toward the net. Steered aside by the goalie into the netting. We'll get another face off. Graham Peters talks to Weaver. Weaver picks up that puck off the face-off. Weaver sends it back to Berkey. Berkey races in. He tips it. Peters picks it up. Berkey centers it. Missed. Soper not able to keep it in. Goes into the neutral zone. Hits Weaver. Weaver sends it around to Soap. Soap sends it up. Not out. But Ben Burley flattens the point man for Petoskey. Now Burley gets it out. Burley's got it. He tried to center. Graham Peters picks it up. Steps toward the middle. Just missed the net. The goalie wasn't even there. He was out of position. Kept in by Burkholder. Burkholder shot toward the net. Steered just wide of the net by a stick 10 feet out in front. Burley's got it. Burley shoots into the net right into the glove of the Petoskey player. He hangs on. We get a whistle. Ay, ay, ay. 6:36 left. Third period. Trojans down by 2. Shots on goal, 25-20 in favor of Petoskey. So Davidson got kicked out as Blazak jumped. Blazak comes to take that face-off win. Shot on net! Off the goalie stick, bounced straight up into his face, fell down into his glove. He hangs on. We'll do it over again, same spot. Davison lines up. This one goes back to the point, kept in by Soper, but Petoskey able to get it out. Soap goes far side. We come through the middle. Tipped in. Beatty, first one to the puck. He takes some physical work. He goes behind the net. Tried to wrap around. Off his stick. Petoskey comes out with that puck. Brought right back in by the Trojans. Here's Beatty. Oh, it just tipped off his stick at the last second. Burkholder dumps it right back in. We're on sides. We come out. Oh, Petoskey had 6 guys on the ice there. Referee must only have 5 fingers. All right, we come through the middle. Rodenroth tried to send it off. Humphreys comes up with it, goes back to the point. Past Harv. Whitey backs up. Shot easily steered aside off the right leg of Schlegel and out. Petoskey dumps it right back in. Harv's going to pick that up with 5 minutes left in the third period. Trojans down by 2. Here comes Rodenroth. He dumps it in deep. It goes all the way around behind the net. Humphreys, first man there. Sends it toward the net. He's got Rodenroth there. Rodenroth taken down. Centering pass just off a file stick. Kloosterman with a hit and a half. Drives the stick out of the captain of the Petoskey team's hands. Petoskey brings it in, they shoot wide of Schlegel behind the net. Petoskey picks it up, tries a wraparound, no good. Humphreys is going to get this, send it up the boards into the neutral zone. Petoskey brings it right back in. Shot toward the net. Schlegel's right leg, kicked around, crossed the middle. By the benches, shot off of Schlegel. Shot wide of the net. Shot. Oh, Petoskey with a lot of pressure here. Schlegel going back and forth like a cat with a laser. And behind the net, White ties his man up and gets it to Rodenroth, who makes the neutral zone and dumps it. We go for a line change. They call Petoskey offsides as Kloosterman just plowed the man on the point over, which gets some people riled up, but we got to keep our head in it with 3:34 left. Down by 2. We need to score some goals. Puck in the Petoskey end, steered all the way around, out. Soper's got to pick that up. Soper goes up, touched by Petoskey. They go far side. We dump it right back in. We get on side. Petoskey behind their net, up the boards, picked off into the neutral zone. Burkholder brings it right back in. He goes to the far side, picked off by Petoskey. Oh, this one kept in by Weaver. Weaver tripped up, no call. Again, home ice advantage. Centering pass. Tipped into the corner by Graham Peters. Around. Out. Past Berkey. Berkey to Burley. Burley is going to dump it deep. He takes a hit to do that. Beatty comes racing in. Sent up the far side as we line change. Dumped in deep. This will be an ice. 2:25 left, third period. Trojans down by 2. Not good. Not good at all. Conaway and White out there with Blazak, Davison, and Beatty. Face off. Behind the goal line of Petoskey, sent around. Conaway stepped way in. Gutsy move there, but he kept the puck in. He had Blazak back him up. Blazak kept it into the point. Now Petoskey gets it out. Davison races in, knocks that puck off. Over to Conaway. Conaway up to Beatty. Beatty far side and in. We're on sides. Petoskey picks it up. They drive it all the way down, and they'll get an icing. So Conaway and White will stay back. We'll get Weaver, Peters, and Burley up front. Oh, Conaway making me nervous. He cheated way off the point. He was below the middle of the circle, but kept that in with his foot. And thank goodness one of his teammates backed him up. Son of a gun! With 1:54 left, we get a timeout, and I'm hoping Josh and I don't freeze solid before the end of the timeout. This rink is so cold that the cinder blocks are frosted up on the inside, and when you walk out past the Zamboni doors, the floor is frozen. There's no chillers where the floor is frozen. It is greatly below 32 in this rink. Or for you goofballs in England, way below 0C. It's probably minus 14 or 15C right now in this place. So we've got 1:54 left. The horn blows for the timeout. Schlegel goes back to the net. I wondered if they might pull him with the face-off down in our end. Oh, they did. They let him go all the way to the net till Petoskey got their players out, and then they sent him to the bench. So Traverse City will line up with 6. Graham Peters takes the face off. He can't control it. Sent hard around. Kept in by Soap. Soap goes back to Berkey. All the way behind the goal line. Peters with a good check. Weaver gets it. Shot from way down. Wide of the net. We'll get an icing. 1:38 left. Trojans down by 2. That's funny. I think they gave him a shot on net for a shot that went wide of the net. There's no goalie. Not a shot on the net. All right, face off. Weaver behind, sent it all the way around. This goes all the way down. It'll be another ice. And with 1:29 left in the third, we'll get another face off to the left of the Petoskey goalie. Face off, won by Traverse City, sent back, shot toward the net, never made it. Blocked, another shot, goalie save. Davison back to the point. Burley, he shoots, goes wide of the net on the side. Graham Peters sets it up. Oh, off of Weaver. Picked up by Davidson. Weaver, Davidson, Peters, moving the puck. Peters avoids the check. He keeps it in. He goes back to Davidson. 1 minute left. Shot toward the middle. Deflected. Davidson shoots at the net. It goes high, and the goalie kicks the net off with 53.6 left. We get a whistle. Weaver will take this face off again. Oh, we call another timeout. I can't stand this. I'm going to die of frostbite and starvation and dehydration. Frostbite being number 1 on the list. .6 left in this contest. Trojans down by 2. Shots on goal 29-22, which is definitely skewed because I've seen a couple missed and a couple counted that weren't. So the timekeeper buzzes the horn. We'll get a face off to the goalie's left. Weaver will take the face off. Berkey, Peters, Davison, Burley, and Soap out there. Back to Burley. Burley chases it around. Drilled up. Davison holds it, and he goes far side to Soap. Soap shot! Steered aside before it got there. Burley picks it up. Burley goes behind the net. Burley's looking. Burley shoots. Oh, goalie with a kick save just barely. Far side. Davison's going to have a chance. He shoots toward the middle. Knocked down wide of the net. And we get an icing with 27.5 left. Oh, we've had our chances. This goalie is on fire. All right, Weaver will take the face off again. Face off. Controlled by the Trojans. Back to the point. Pass Burley. Doggone it. Icing calls. It made it all the way to the line with 18.6 left. All right. Face off, won by Petoskey. They send it around, held in by Soap. Soap toward the net. Shot off the goalie's high right shoulder. Son of a gun. We can't catch a break. Peters with 5 seconds left toward the middle. Steered aside again toward the middle. That'll do her. Game over.